And it's time for another basic beer review. And I just thought I'd do this one for a bit of a laugh. Basically, I was in Lidl, and they've got the Belgian beer box back in Lidl. And this time last year, I got a Belgian beer box from Lidl, and I never drank the Gulden Draak that was in it. Basically, it's been in the garage for a year now, so essentially it's been aged a year. So I thought, well, why not get a new bottle of Gulden Draak and see if the taste has changed over a year. I mean, I don't know whether this is going to be much. I imagine these will taste different, but it could just because they were brewed at different times, or just because I don't know, maybe one has been stored, maybe the way it's been stored has not been great, and therefore it might impair the flavour slightly, or it might taste better. But then I've had one in the garage all year, which keeps at a relatively cool temperature all year round. The other one has literally just been bought from Lidl today, so it's however they've been storing it really since they've basically been in the fridge for a little bit, but they're cool, they're not cold, they're kind of cellar temperature really, which is perfect for this kind of beer. I'm not sure if this is the one that says on it what temperature it should be at. Does it say? It's not the easiest to read this. I don't think it says what temperature. Usually it does say what temperature to serve it at, but I think it's usually around about 7 to 10 degrees. I think they usually say for these. Which I'd say these are probably about right. Maybe a little bit warmer than that. Anyway, let's have a see which one's which. So this one has a best before date of the 23rd of the 4th, 26, which we know is nonsense because these kind of dark beers, bottle conditioned, they'll last, well, as long as you want to store them for, I suppose. But there you go. But the best before date will give us an idea of when it was bottled. So I'm thinking it was bottled around about that time last year. I reckon they've probably given it 2 years on it. This one, or it could be the year before that, I don't know. This one is the 17th of the 4th, 27, so this could well have been brewed April of this year. So there you go. So yeah, so this one is pretty much a year. So this one's pretty much a year older than this one, almost exactly a year older than this one. So I thought, well, let's get 2 glasses. These are the similarish glasses I could find. They're the same shape, but this one's smaller than this one. I don't think it really matters. I rinsed them out just to get them nice and clean. So let's start cracking these open. They are 10.5% ABV. They're 330ml bottles. I'm not going to be putting loads in because I'm going to be savouring these through the evening. I'm not going to be drinking them all now, but I'm going to pour. So this is the new one. Is going into the Omnipollo glass there. So we'll just have. I've got a Gulden Draak glass, but I'm not going to put one in the Gulden Draak glass and one not, because that's well, there's no point doing that. And then this one's going to go in there. So we'll put a bit more in. I don't want to put too much in because this is our 10.5%. But let's have a little look. So there we go. We've got some in there. We've got some in there. Let's put a bit more in. We'll see if there's any difference in the taste, any difference in the flavour. This one's frothing up more than this one, but I think that's just because it's a smaller glass, basically. So yeah, so we've got Gulden Draak, the aged one here, the non-aged one there. So yeah, so this one's been aged for a year. This one's relatively fresh. Are we getting any difference between them? So we'll just let them settle a little bit, and then we'll start nosing them and seeing what we get. So yeah, I thought, I've done a Gulden Draak review a while ago, but what I've not done is a little taste test between the two, and I thought it might be interesting to see whether there is a difference when it's been aged for a year. As I say, the differences in batches may be more significant than the difference when it's been aged. We will see. But anyway, let's start nosing. I think I'll nose the fresh one first. So I'm going to nose this fresh one first. We'll give it a little bit of a swirl, and we'll see what it smells like. So getting cherry in this nose there. A little bit of almond, almost like cherry bakewell. A little bit of malt in there, got dark malt in there. Ooh, all over my nose. So that head is taking quite a while to go down. It's got a lovely lacing on the head there. It's just sliding really slowly down the glass. Probably should have given this a bigger glass, really. Well, it smells nice. It smells fruity. It smells there's raisin notes in there. There's a little bit of banana. Yeah, definitely a little bit of banana in there. Banana, dark cherry, bit of almond, a little bit of spice, bit of nutmeg. Yeah, it smells like you would expect it to smell. It smells like Gulden Draak smells, really, and smells like a lot of these dark Belgian ales smell. Right, this one, this is the aged one. This has been aged for 1 year, which is not much really to age. Really, I could have left it 2 years, and who knows, I might get another case and lay down a Gulden Draak for about 5 years maybe, and then 5 years from now, if the channel is still going, then I can taste it up against a new Gulden Draak. Who knows? Anyway, let's give this one a nose. So possibly a little bit. It's got less. It's got less of a harshness to the nose. That one's got a little bit more acidity in the nose. I thought it was a little bit of bubblegum, in the nose there. But I think in the nose that's slightly different. Now it's got a little bit of, it's like a little acidity, like sour apple almost in the nose. This one has a much smoother nose to it. It's there's a little bit of chocolatiness in the nose. I don't know if I'm just fooling myself here, but there is a definite difference in the nose. This one smells like it would be more thick and more full in flavour. This one smells like it'd be a bit harsher. That's interesting, that. The thing is, this tastes a lot better than this one. I know what I'm going to do with my Gulden Draaks in future. I have laid down Gulden Draak before, though. I'm sure I've had Gulden Draaks where I've laid them down for like about a year and tried them. This is smelling more like, if anyone remembers this, the Imperial Chocolate Quad bike. Is that Gulden Draak or was that Castile? Not sure if it's Castile or Gulden Draak, but I know one of them did like an Imperial Chocolate Quad, which was, I think it was Gulden Draak, and it was absolutely delicious. And this got some of those kind of chocolatey smells. Yeah, getting a little bit of that sour apple in that smell as well, but not as strong. But yeah, we're definitely getting a chocolatiness in this one, which isn't as prominent in this one. This one smells thinner. This one does smell a lot better than this one, I won't lie. This one just smells, it smells thinner. It smells more like a malty lager. Whereas this one smells absolutely delightful. Yeah, that smells really good. Really good. I mean, they both smell nice, but this one, compared to this one doesn't smell nice. And even the bubbles are very different as well. There are much bigger bubbles in this one than this one, a lot creamier. I mean, let's have a look at the lacing. So that lacing is holding onto the glass quite well there. Is the lacing any different on this one? Possibly going down a little bit quicker. I don't know if that's an age thing or what, really. But, I mean, the thing is, if it's bottle conditioned, it'll be, conditioning in the bottle for longer. So there'll be more happening. Some more will have happened with this one, but certainly by looking at them, this one looks a lot better than this one does. Once again, I'm going to go for the new one first on the taste, and then I'm going to go for the aged one. So let's try this one first. Cheers. Yeah. So it's got a lovely full mouthfeel, a little bit sharp on the entrance. Beautiful aftertaste, really smooth, like black cherry aftertaste. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little cut here because I need to get some water. I'm not going to go straight from this to this. I'm going to have to cleanse my palate between the two because I've got to get a nice objective taste. So I'm going to do a little cut. And now I have my water. Isn't this exciting? It is this time. I am actually excited about this. These are the perfect temperature as well to drink these beers. They're cool, but they're not cold by any stretch of the imagination. So, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'm going to put the lids on the bottles. And I'm going to put the bottles to the side because they are the same, let's face it. There's no point in having them there. All we've got to remember is that's the new one. That's the old one. I'm just going to go on this one again, just to remind myself what it tasted like. It really is a beer that you hold in your mouth, this one. And that kind of temperature, where it's just cool but not cold, is perfect for these kind of beers. I mean, they're more of a winter beer than a summer beer. It's been quite hot today, and yeah, I've been gasping for a pint all day. This is not the kind of beer you have when you're gasping for a pint, let's face it. But certainly, winter, autumn's evening, sat by a roaring fire, just nursing it with a nice book or whatever whatever you fancy. I sound a bit weird when I say that, but yeah, just sat there by a roaring fire with a nice book or whatever you like doing, just enjoying the beer, just enjoying the experience. But yeah, I mean that's there's a lot of cherry on the finish there. The black cherry, a little bit of vanilla. You don't get much chocolate in that flavour. I'm not necessarily sure if I'm going to get chocolate in this flavour, but the head is still retaining well on this compared to this one. Again, larger bubbles in that one than this one. Anyway, enough. I've not looked at the colours actually. You'd think the colour would get darker as it ages now. I really have to look through the light for this, and I don't know whether the size of glass is going to make a difference, but this one's a bit cloudier than that one. I would say. The one on the left is a little bit clear, and I do think it's a bit more ruby red, this one. This one's a bit more amber. This one's a bit more ruby red. It does look... Trying to find the light. There's the light. Oh yeah, if you get the light behind it, I'd say the light... I'm holding that up to the light, so the actual... There you go, so the bulb shines through. And I've got the bulb shining through both, and I'm reckoning getting more of a reddy orange coming through this one, where it's more of a like... an amber traffic light kind of orange on that one. So I think this is a little bit of a darker colour, and I think it's a little bit less clear, but I think that might have been the way I was holding it. So anyway, let's get a taste on this one anyway. So cheers. So initially on the taste, there's not much difference, but the mouthfeel, it's a lot smoother. There's much smoother mouthfeel. This one's more of a bubbly mouthfeel. This one is still carbonated, but it's got a much smoother mouthfeel, silky. Silky smooth mouthfeel with a little bit of carbonation. This one's a bit more bubbly. So yeah, there's a different. I think there's a difference in the colour. There's a slight difference in the nose. There's definitely a difference in the mouthfeel. Let's see if there's much of a difference in the taste, because the flavour profile is very similar because it is the same beer, which shows a bit of consistency from year to year, which is good. This one's a little bit more Marmitey in the taste. Which, you know, this one wasn't quite so Marmitey. Marmite is something I do get from some of these Belgian beers. I remember, what was it now? The Gulden Draak Peter. I got it seriously from that the first time I had a bottle of that. That one's a bit less Marmitey. There's a bit of a sharpness on the finish there, though. I'd say this one's a little bit sweeter, I think. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I'll cut to the chase here now. I'll start summing up. Basically, yeah, it's the same beer. You can tell that tastes a little bit more alcoholic as well, which I think is something you'd expect as well. correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the alcohol will increase as it continues to mature in the bottle. I imagine that's sugar. Any sugar that's left still turning into alcohol, which is possibly why this one tastes a bit sweeter than this one. That one definitely is sweeter than this one. But this one does pack more of a punch alcohol wise. It's smoother in the mouthfeel. You can tell they're the same beer. You've got a very similar flavour profile. I'd say the more chocolatey dark roasted malty flavours are more prominent in this one. This one's got more of those kind of appley and the spiciness, a bit more spiciness to this one. I mean, they're both amazing. They're both really good. I could be led to believe that these were two different beers. If someone told me that these were, I don't know, this was like a 12% like quadruple, and this was just like a 10% Belgian strong ale brewed by the same people, I would, I would believe that. But yeah, I mean, it's yeah, I'm not sure which one I prefer. I do like the sweetness in this one, to be honest. I do like the sweetness in the young one. But obviously the sweetness could be a bit sickly. It's more refreshing, that one as well. It's weird to talk about refreshing when you're talking about a 10.5% beer, but it is more refreshing. That's I think the sweetness, the bubbly mouthfeel, the fact that it's a little bit lighter, makes it a bit more refreshing. This one is certainly like a drink with a mince pie around the Christmas time. You know, I mean, there's a slight bit of difference. There's more bitterness in this one towards the end. Almost like bitter dark chocolate. I'm not expecting an enormous amount of difference, but really, I think this is not quite. I don't think it's. I would call it particularly aged. It's possibly more the beer's been allowed to settle down a bit. So I think this is a bit young. This one, hence why it's a bit bubbly and a bit sweet, a bit fruity. I think when it's been allowed to settle down a little bit, just let it settle down for a year. This is what it tastes like. I imagine if it was 2 years old, it probably just tastes very similar to this. I imagine you probably have to age it for at least 5 years to get, a significant difference from the aging. But I don't know what I'm talking about, so I could be well off the mark there. But yeah, there definitely is a difference between these. That's definitely darker, more full-bodied. How much of this I've had? More full-bodied, and this one is sweeter and fruitier. But only a little bit. This has still got a bit of sweetness to it, and it's really nice. I'm enjoying them both. I think I came to this conclusion as well when I can remember once I had a Gulden Draak. I didn't really like it. I had it straight away. I wasn't a massive fan of it. And then I had another box, and I laid that down for about 6 months, and then I had that, and I really enjoyed it. So I think sometimes with these Gulden Draaks, it's good to just let it settle for a little bit, just to leave it for 6 months after buying it before you consume it. Because although it is really nice straight out of the bottle, as soon as you buy it, it is also quite nice, I think, when it's been just allowed to settle down a bit and relax. And when it tastes like that, it's more velvety. It coats your mouth more. It's more of an experience. This one, very pleasant, quite refreshing. Decent little tipple. This one's, I think, is a bit more of an experience. It's interesting. It's all about what you like at the end of the day. I don't think... I wouldn't recommend people sort of lay this down. I mean, this is absolutely amazing. If you go down to Lidl and you get the Belgian beer box, get that Gulden Draak out of there, get it drunk. Let's face it, okay? But don't worry, if you've had it in there for 6 months, a year, 2 years, it's only going to get smoother and more full-bodied, and have a nice little bitter aftertaste there as well. There you go, all done. My Gulden Draak review. Hopefully it was entertaining for some people and informative for others. Anyway, till next time, have a good one.